I have been trying to think of a way to do this video without sounding like a whiny little bitch for a couple of weeks now, and I always come out sounding like a bit of a whiner, so I'm going to approach it from a different direction. It's not a review as such, it's more of a update on living with the ER500, let's call it that. It's safe to say it's a all-round general good little bike. Does exactly what it needs to do, gets me where I need to go. It hasn't been without its problems, but what bike isn't? Looking to the future though, and I think it'll be time to move on from the ER500 soon. It's an alright bike to ride. It doesn't try and throw me off every couple of seconds. It isn't trying to kill me. It handles the road, slippy substances quite well. That's down to the tyres more than anything. It's comfortable. Well, it's comfortable enough. Seats, you know, it's a seat. But I don't feel enthusiastic. I don't wake up on days off and think about jumping on my bike and going on a long trip, because the bike's good for short journeys, not long distance. It gets quite cold because it's completely unfaired, and you know, there's no fairing and whatnot. It gets quite cold on the bike, and although I could get heated grips for it, that'd only resolve my hands. I'm wearing an all seasons jacket and it still gets quite nippy, because you're basically taking whatever wind force hits you in the chest at that value plus your own speed, so it's just a bit of a cold ride, to be honest. And I'm coming from a ZX6R to this, and I'm two and something years in now. Yeah, 2 and something years in, and all I ever do is find myself harking back to the days where I had a bit more power under me. That's another reason I don't feel enthusiastic about long rides, is because I don't feel like this bike has got the same oomph behind it. It's a great little bike for A to B, but fuck it hell, it just isn't, just doesn't catch the imagination as well as I'd like. Yeah, I got time. That's not to be mistaken with the fact that this is a versatile, great little bike for local run around, you know, with it being a little 500, it's, I wouldn't say it's massively economical. What the fuck are you doing? You fucking wanker! Fuck me! Jesus Christ! Where was I? Yeah, it's an alright little bike, but it just doesn't get me going in the way the ZX6R used to. It doesn't make me want to go on long distance rides and you know, the usual. Red light. Any second. There we go. See, it does have some low end torque, but it doesn't really have a lot top end. And you feel sort of bad for ragging it, because after all, it is just a little... oh, I think I hit that. Shit, never mind. No, I didn't. It ran off, it's fine. Oh, what is with the traffic tonight? Small animals running across the front of me. Fucking cars driving out in front of me. You know what? I'm not doing this vlogging shit anymore because it's just causing trouble. Oh, I just want to get to work in peace and warm. That's all I want. Is it the bike? Do they see the little ER500 and think it's nothing to be worried about and just run out in front of me? Oh, fucking hell. But yeah, I've got this inkling, I've got this little feeling in my gut that I want something with a bit more beans, with a bit more comfort. My friend Jay and me were talking about this the other night, and he said, "Oh shit, didn't realise you were old already," and I was like, "Fuck you, Jay, twat." But, you know, he said, we had a long and meaningful discussion about it, like you do with your mates. You know, you tell them to fuck off and eat your ass and such. Because it's just one of them. I use my bike predominantly for commuting. It's cold as shit 99% of the time in this country. So I need something that's going to suit that, you know, environment. Also, when I need a bit of oomph to get out of the way of things, this bike just don't got it. And people look at it because it's smaller and it's not as... It just looks like a 125. So people shit all over it. And regardless of your riding ability, people just tend to fucking squeeze you out like that twat did just then. Just push me out of the way, like, oh, whatever. And I had to grab the brake so hard I didn't even have a chance to roll off the fucking throttle. So I think come the end of September, after I've had it MOT and whatnot, I'll clean it up and see about selling it and try and move on to something a bit bigger again. Obviously I'm leaning towards sports tourer, something that's a bit more comfortable but a bit better than the Ninja for comfort, but will still have the power to do what I want to do with it. I prefer something a bit newer, but fuck me if finances ain't against me nowadays. If they ain't against everyone, I mean, Jesus Christ, look at the UK economy and the way we're being treated. The government's fucking laughing at us. We're scraping pennies, licking the moss off rocks to survive at the moment. The fucking government are rolling in it. Rant over. Fucking hell. I try not to react like that sort of thing to that guy cutting me off and just driving straight at me. I'd like to think I'm an evolved creature that would handle that better, but when someone just drives straight at you with no regard for your life, it's just like, great. The training and all your self-reserve that you've got goes out the fucking window when someone does that to you, because you just kind of want to punch them square in the mouth, don't you? Just like, oi, whack. But we can't. It's a civilized society. We have to behave like adults. Fuck only knows why. Because there are definitely some people in this world that need their fucking head stamping on with the way they behave. Never mind. Just shake it off and move on. There's another fucking idiot motorist without the comprehension level required to see a vehicle coming at them and work out that they're not going to be able to make it. Keeps you alive. There you go, Rider Guider, feel free to use that clip. Oh god, there was no advanced technique there. Just bring the bike to a stop, give the wanker in the car the finger and move on. Let's go, 12-hour night shift, let's do this. Well, I'm uploading this one. I'm fucking done trying to make this video because every time I try and do it, shit just goes fucking wrong. And I'm just going to upload this one and be done with it. There'll be very little editing involved, except maybe a slow-mo of the small animal I nearly flat-packed. I think it was very lucky to get out of the way of my fucking wheel. I thought I'd hit it for a second, but then I saw it just go out to the side and I was like, ooh, you lucky little bastard. Well, it was light when I set off, now it's fucking dark again. Well, hopefully this is the start of the lighter days coming.